Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to high school baseball action here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman with you. This is our Woods Household pregame show here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. And if I zoom in out on the field, out there at second base, in between the infield, you can see Coach Bechtel out there. You would not believe how much different this field looks than it did about hour and a half ago. I pulled in here shortly after 2 o'clock, and the rain came down and blew the four walls down, as the old Big Tent Revival song says. But they have been out here working and working. The players have been out on the field doing a whole bunch of work, along with Coach Bechtel, Coach Martin, Coach Flogger, and Coach Ancliffe to get this field ready. They've been busy over on the softball field is ready. Been busy on the softball field as well as they get ready for action. Over there, it's 5-1 Beal City versus 10-0 Leroy Pine River. These Aggie boys don't have as great of a record coming into this one, but the teams they've lost to is Freeland, Bay City Western, Swan Valley, some big-time powerhouse teams. They have won this Highland Conference baseball championship for a long time. It's now 20-plus years. So for these kids, their whole lives, Beal City has owned the Highland Conference in baseball action, so they expect to continue that trend here. Chris Bachman with you, Woods Household pregame show, coming to you live from our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Also, much love to the Bird All-American Grill, Bill's Custom Fab, sponsor of our fabrication of the game, whoever makes the best play out there. Also love to Gates Drilling and Service, Clark Modular Homes, Wieferich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, along with Malley Construction, and J&J Auto, sponsor of our collision report. Also love to Blocko Pools and Spas, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, along with Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. One thing with that field being in a bit, I don't even want to say rough shape because they've done such a great job. Everything's been pushed back a little bit. Talking with head coach Brad Ancliffe and some of the umpires, was kind of hoping for about a 4:15 start at the latest. And so right now, Beal City's doing infield. After this, Pine River's going to take their infield, and then we are going to be ready to go. And it may be a quicker infield than usual, just trying to save that field, that infield out there. But the rain looks like it's going to stay away for quite a while. We should have some fantastic baseball action coming right up for you with the Beal City Aggies and the Pine River Bucks. On the mound for the Aggies will be Mr. Collin Martin. Remember Brendan Martin a few years ago, the outstanding All-Stater for the Aggies. His younger bro will be on the bump today. Just a sophomore, but an outstanding sophomore that will be on the bump. There's a ton of other guys from Beal City that we also could see on the mound as well. It'll be Tate Felsk starting this game for Pine River in Game 1. Could also see some Jericho Holmes out there as well. It's Beal City. It's Leroy Pine River. We're getting set to go with high school baseball action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We're going to send it out to a quick break here to hear from some of our great sponsors. When we come back, we're talking more high school baseball action, Beal City, Pine River. We'll take a look at those lineups when we come back here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Blockco Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blockco Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Pure sportsmanship is the most important thing in high school sports. When it comes to your home or business, Pure Plumbing just might be the most important thing. If your plumbing isn't pure, don't worry, no one needs to see the other angle. For Pure Plumbing, call 989-644-8928 or visit mipureplumbing.com. Block Electric Company in Wademan has been powering Michigan for over 30 years. There's no job too big or too small for Block Electric Company, like an entire school or something simple at the home, like making sure the outdoor lighting, thermostat, or ceiling fan is installed professionally. Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric Company, and go Aggies.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on this Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman here with you, Woods Household pregame show as we get you set up for first pitch. Again, scheduled for 4 o'clock as always for high school baseball and softball for that first game. Second game always quote-unquote scheduled for 6 o'clock, but we are ready here for action with the Beal City Aggies and the Leroy Pine River Bucks. Out there doing the infield right now is Pine River, and with that rain that came through around 2:30, our start time has been pushed back to kind of a to be determined, kind of as soon as we're ready out here on the field. The umpires came out, they walked the infield, gave a tip of the cap to everybody from Beal City for somehow getting this field ready to roll. You can see Pine River out there doing their final warm-ups right now. So we're going to run down things here for the Beal City lineup. We'll take another break, go through that Pine River lineup. Then we'll talk about some keys to victory for this Beal City Aggie squad. Leading things off for Beal City, playing at shortstop, wearing #1, is Mr. Kyler Smith. Batting second, playing out in right field, #5, Braxton Bukovich. Behind the plate, wearing #22, batting in the 3 spot, catcher Eric Elias. Batting in the cleanup spot, playing first base, Will the Thrill McClintock. Batting 5th, playing in center field, is #2, Gary Zuker. Batting 6th, playing in the hot corner at third base, is #14, Cooper Scarborough. On the mound, wearing #0, the sophomore, Mr. Collin Martin. Spence Burmeister will be at second base. He wears a #10. He'll be batting 8th. And batting 9th, rounding out the lineup, will be Mr. Danny Roggenbach. He'll be playing out in a left field. There's that lineup for the Beal City Aggies. Again, we're going to take another break here on our Woods Household pregame show. When we come back, we'll talk about that starting lineup for the Pine River Bucks, coming at 6-5. But with what just happened with McBain, and has me thinking that Beal City should be the favorite here in this one. You're listening to high school baseball on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Beal City, Leroy Pine River coming up. We'll also have updates from that softball field as well. Back with more Woods Household pregame show right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. We have all seen this sticker, maybe in Mount Pleasant, Beal City, Ithaca, or Traverse City. There is a reason you see that sticker everywhere. That's because Dick Sova Auto Sales has been selling sharp used cars and trucks for 3 generations. Stop in to see the Sova family in downtown Shepherd for your next low-mileage, immaculate car and see why they're known for over 40 years of fantastic customer service. Or you can view their inventory now at DickSovaAutoSales.com. Dick Sova Auto Sales, selling sharp used cars and trucks and supporting sharp student athletes. Powell Frame and Collision knows we all spend a lot of time looking out the windshield. So if yours gets cracked, dented, damaged, or destroyed, Powell Frame and Collision, along with their expert collision service, now offers expert auto glass replacement. Working with insurance, they can replace all makes and all models, including new advanced driver assistance system windshields. Mention you saw this ad and you can get $100 off of your windshield replacement. Powell Frame and Collision, downtown Shepherd. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman with you. We've got the meeting of the minds happening right now at the plate with the umpires. Coach Ancliffe is out there. Coach Rupert is heading out there. And if that sounds familiar, Coach Rupert, it is the pops of Coach Rupert from a basketball season with Beal City and Leroy Pine River. And so we're not going to go through the Pine River lineup right now. As I said, things, I don't even want to say wonky, but things just a little different here getting started as we have got these 2 teams out here getting ready to rock. A little bit late with all that weather. And again, a big shout to Coach Bechtel, Coach Ancliffe, and the rest of the crew getting this field ready to play because it was a monsoon that came down here just a little bit ago. Going to take another break here on our Woods Household pregame show. When we come back, we should be getting right around first pitch, and we'll go through that starting lineup for Leroy Pine River as they come to the plate. First on the mound for the Beal City Aggies to start things out will be Mr. Collin Martin. Back with more Aggie baseball right after this Woods Household pregame show on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary, he can be yours too.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Wieferich and Bradley on Main Street in Mount Pleasant provides uncompromising integrity when providing tax and accounting services to individuals and small businesses in the Mid-Michigan area. Wieferich and Bradley has an expert CPA ready to help you, whether you're an individual that needs help with taxes or a business that needs help with, well, just about everything. Wieferich and Bradley is a leader in the community and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Visit them online at bwbpc.com or stop into their office on Main Street in downtown Mount Pleasant. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Brickner and Bunker Farm Bureau Insurance Group is Mid-Michigan's #1 team for protecting what matters most to you. Home, auto, life, farm, business. They offer a wide variety of coverage at affordable rates with the customer service of a best friend. Visit Brickner and Buckner Farm Bureau Insurance Group on Pickard Road or visit them online at bricknerbunkerinsurance.com.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Mr. Collin Martin out there getting his final few warm-ups in. And again, trying something new here. You can see it now down in the bottom corner if you're watching. If you're just listening, don't worry. It's the same old dipstick that you're going to have to deal with here. But we're going to attempt to try and have that scoreboard down in the corner when I try and zoom in on things. For, if it's the full screen when we come to playoff action, that's going to be okay. You'll be able to tell what's going on up there. But when I zoom in through the fence and try and have it with that picture-in-picture, things just don't look that great. And so if you look, real close, you can actually see the internet open, and we've got the keepthescore.com. But I think you'd be able to tell the score down there, which is what I am trying to get at here. It's the Aggies. It's Pine River. That lineup for Pine River, leading things off, playing shortstop, could also see him on the mound, is Mr. Jericho Holmes. Behind him is the catcher, Carter Magnan, batting second. Batting third, playing at third base, is Colton Day. Playing out in left field, batting in the cleanup spot, is Carter Wayne. Batting fifth, and will be on the mound for Leroy Pine River, is Tate Felsk. Batting seventh, playing second base, is going to be Cooper Deverman. Batting seventh, playing first base, is going to be Anders Johnson. Batting eighth, playing out in right field, will be Aiden Dennison. And batting ninth, playing in center field, will be Mr. Boone Wheeler. Again, for the Aggies defensively, it's Martin on the bump, Elias behind the plate, McClintock at first, Burmeister at second, Kyler Smith at short, Cooper Scarborough at third, Danny Roggenbuck out in left field, Gary Zuker out in center, and Braxton Bukovich out in right field. We are set to go. Leroy Pine River, Beal City baseball here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Again, it's been 20-plus years that Beal City has won that Highland Conference baseball championship, and we are set to go with Mr. Martin on the mound. Digging in is Jericho Holmes at the plate. First one is just going to miss low. So talking with Coach Antcliffe before the game, he kind of had his eye on Holmes, wanted to see if he was going to be the guy on the mound for Leroy Pine River. I think we'll probably see him on the bump in the second game. This one's going to be fouled down the third baseline, out of play. 1-1 now the count to Holmes, who steps back in, batting on the left side, waving that pink bat over the back left shoulder that's got Tank written on one side of it. Martin getting ready for the 1-1. Eric Elias behind the dish for the Aggies here. Here comes the 1-1 from Martin. Curveball's going to be fouled off. 1-2 now the count to Jericho. Top of the first inning. Beal City, Leroy Pine River scoreless here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Jericho Holmes, the leadoff hitter at the dish for Leroy Pine River. Batting from the left side, wearing number 11. Steps out, now steps back in on the inside part of the batter's box, ready for Martin, the righty, to fire away again. Trying to get him to chase outside, just misses. 2-2 now the count to Jericho Holmes. Martin digs in. He's got the sign. Ready to wind and deal. This one's going to be fouled off down the third baseline, out of play. Nice job by Holmes, staying alive. Count will remain 2-2. Pitch number 6 of the at-bat coming up here. Leadoff hitter for Pine River. Leadoff batter in this ballgame, Jericho Holmes. 2-2 count. He digs back in. So whenever you see the shortstop leading things off, you always know it's going to be one of the better hitters, better ball players for the team, a la Kyler Smith on the other side for Beal City. Breaking ball doesn't really break that time for Martin. It stays on the outside. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming here for Jericho Holmes. Doesn't even step out of the box. Stays right where he is. Just waves that bat a couple times and gets ready for the payoff pitch here from Martin. That's going to stay outside. Great at-bat there from Jericho Holmes to draw the leadoff walk. Carter Magnan's now going to step to the plate, the catcher, wearing a number 6 for Leroy Pine River. Looks like he'll also be batting from the left side as well. And if there's one thing the Aggie team has missed the last several years, when they've just had some outstanding runs through the postseason, it's been that lefty. Asked Coach Ancliffe when the last time he had a lefty was. He said, I think it's my assistant coach, Kendall Flogger, which tells you how long ago that was. Holmes at first base, short lead. McClintock holding him on over there. Nice block from Elias behind the plate and misses, but just misses. If you're going to miss, that's not a bad spot there for Collin Martin. Big space over there in between first and second with McClintock holding the runner on. Magnan on the left side, digs back in. That was going to be on the outside corner. Nice job painting that time from Collin Martin. 1-1 now the count. Magnan digs back in. Short lead over there for Holmes at first base. Knows Martin has that good move over there. Try and pick him off. Here comes the 1-1. That one's also going to be just low in the zone. 2-1 now the count. Much love to our friends, Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Martinez Painting, Martinez Cleaning, and Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Bang and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Sova Auto Sales, Block Electric, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Bureau Insurance, The Diner, and the WW Construction, along with All Seasons Fireworks and Pure Plumbing. This one's going to be popped up. Going to be in a tough spot. Zuker with a diving catch, a web gem from Gary Zuker. You have got to be kidding me. How in the world did he come up with that one? Fantastic play there by Zuker as he gets the first out here of the inning. Oh, man, what a fantastic play from Zuker, laying out, making the catch. If he didn't come up with that one, the good news is with the wet field, it probably wouldn't have rolled all that far. But Zuker's got to be soaking wet out there now after coming up with the diving catch. We've got one down now here in the top of the first inning. At the plate is Colton Day, batting third, playing third base for Leroy Pine River. He's going to foul this one off. Talk about our Bills custom fabrication of the game. It's going to be hard to top the catch out there from Gary Zuker, running in from his center field position, laying out to make the catch. Holmes leads away from first. 0-1 the count. That's right down the middle on the outside part. Well, the outside part of the plate right down the middle does not make sense. And the middle part of the zone height-wise, but painting the corner on the outside. Excellent location there from Martin. It's now ahead in the count here, 0-2. Carter Wayne is on deck for Leroy Pine River. Martin checks the runner at first, winds and deals. This one's going to be fouled off. Nice job by Colton Day staying alive there. Top of the first inning, one out, run around first base for Leroy Pine River. At the plate is Mr. Colton Day. On the mound for Beal City's Collin Martin. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Day just fouled one off. McClintock still holding that runner. Holmes over on first base. Swing and a miss. High heat that time for Martin. Colton Day could not catch up as the first punch-out of the game for Collin Martin. Now 2 down. Carter Wayne stepping to the plate. Still at first base is Jericho Holmes. Stands away like he wants to steal a couple times. Elias done a good job behind the dish, keeping things in front of him. That one's going to bounce up there. Holmes still not able to take second base, though. Great job by Eric Elias. So you get it in the dirt, what you want to do if you're the catcher, it's going to bounce. You want it to bounce out in front of you. So you kind of get your momentum going towards second base if you are going to make the throw there. 1-0 the count to Wayne. Here does go Holmes. Here comes the throw down to second base. It's going to be a stolen base from Jericho Holmes. He got a great jump there and was able to take the bag. 2-0 the count as that also missed to Wayne as well. So now if Wayne sends one to the outfield with the speed of Jericho Holmes, he could possibly drive in a run here. It's 2 out. Run around second here in the first inning. Collin Martin awaits the sign from Eric Elias behind the plate. Dancing in and out from second base is Spence Burmeister to just make Jericho Holmes think about things a little bit out at second as he takes a lead. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's going to be fouled off to the backstop. And that's the exact type of hit right there that makes me afraid to put my camera right up on the fence. 2-1 now the count. Stepping out, cleanup hitter, Carter Wayne for Leroy Pine River. He's got a runner at second base. We're in the top of the first inning. There's 2 down. Martin awaits the sign from Eric Elias. He's got it. Now he checks the runner at second. Winds and deals. It's 2-1. That one's just going to miss for a strike. Broke a little too early. Did not catch the lower part of the zone there for Martin. 3-1 now the count. On deck is Tate Felsk, the pitching counterpart, going up against Martin in this one. Here comes the 3-1. That one breaks over for a strike. Excellent pitch right there from Collin Martin. Not a whole lot Wayne was going to be able to do with that one no matter what. Broke over for a strike. Count is now full, 3-2 with 2 outs. Solid lead out at second base for Jericho Holmes. Martin checks the runner, winds and deals with a 3-2. Runner going, it's going to be inside for ball 4. Now 2 walks drawn here for Leroy Pine River in this first inning. You've got Holmes moving up to third base, credited with a second stolen base there. That brings Tate Felsk to the plate. Runners at the corners, 2 down as Felsk steps to the dish. Short time here between the umpires. Martin checks the runner at first. Short lead away from Holmes at third as well. That one's going to stay high to Felsk. 1-0 the count. Softball action happening as well with 10-0 Leroy Pine River and 5-1 Beal City. We'll continue to keep you updated on that game. Those updates are brought to you by our friends at Brad Maley Well Drilling, Maley Construction, and Clark Modular Homes has their open house coming up next weekend, May 1st through the 3rd. This one's popped up down the third baseline. Scarborough giving chase. It looks like he'll have room, and he makes the catch over his back shoulder for the final out. So pop out to third base, get the Aggies out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors, but 2 left on base as they could not get anybody across from a couple walks there. We're going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Come back with the bottom of the first inning. Beal City will be at the dish. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blackhole Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blackhole Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Beal City heading to the bottom of the first inning. Start things off, Kyler Smith on the mound. Again, trying to get things set here on my little scoreboard that's down the corner, and I asked my buddy Adam Gursky, how are things looking? He says, well, other than seeing your computer screen, it's good. And again, doing all that we can. When you go to the breaks, you might see that corner kind of flipping up the Mid-Michigan Sports Network logo, but as you often hear me say, want to bring you the absolute best coverage we possibly can. And with the camera work we're doing the best we can. We got a lot of foul territory over there anyway, so we might as well give you a scoreboard. 0-0 heading to the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off for the Aggies, presented by our friends at the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund. G&S Mechanical, hanging by a thread. Pure Plumbing and All Seasons Fireworks is Kyler Smith, Braxton Bukovich, and Eric Elias. Patient play at the plate. Did draw 2 walks for Leroy Pine River in the top of the first inning, but they stranded 2. Jericho Holmes was left at third base after he walked and stole a couple bags to lead off the inning. Great job by Collin Martin getting out of that inning, and a nice catch in foul territory from Cooper Scarborough for that third out. Yet any play here in this field, if you've got to make a long run, there's going to be some wet spots, some dry spots. It's going to be tough going from the grass to the field. At the plate is Kyler Smith. Smokes the first pitch in between third and short for a base hit. Kyler Smith continuing where he left off from last year. I'll make that joke, as him and his brother, when it comes to high school baseball, 2 of the best that I have ever seen. Smith now at first base. He's going to be a big threat to take a bag as well. The only issue may be the footing over there at first base, as Braxton Bukovich now steps in, playing right field, wearing a number 5, batting in the second spot for Beal City. As I mentioned, Smith over there, a great move from Tate Felsk over to first base, but he can't quite get him. Got Felsk on the mound. Magnan behind the plate for Leroy Pine River. Jericho Holmes at short. I'm always think about what you got up the middle defensively first. Felsk checks that runner. Showing bunt is Bukovich. It's going to be pulled back, and it gets away from the catcher. Taking second base on the pass ball will be Mr. Kyler Smith. So, hey, got a runner in scoring position now already. If you're Braxton Bukovich, hit to the outfield here will definitely drive in Kyler Smith with his elite speed. Eric Elias, catcher, is on deck for Beal City. Bukovich has one of the most casual batting stances you will ever see. Say if you're a pitcher and you come up there and think, well, this guy doesn't look serious. Well, then you throw one down the middle and he smokes it to the outfield. We got 315 down the foul lines here at Beal City High School. 350 out to center field, 335 out to left center and right center. Bukovich pulls that one back just in time as it misses. 2-1, and now the count to the number 2 hitter for Beal City. Tate Felsk on the bump. Carter Magnan behind the plate for Leroy Pine River to start game 1 here. Smith, huge lead out at second base. That one's going to miss outside. 3-1 now, the count to Bukovich. Bukovich looks down the third base line. Get that signal from Coach Brad Ancliffe. You know he's got the green light here. Felsk ready with the 3-1. Again, a huge lead. There goes Kyler Smith. Curveball's going to miss outside for ball 4. Sliding in safely is Kyler Smith. So you got runners at the corners, 2 stolen base, pass ball and a stolen base for Kyler Smith. Drawing the walk is Braxton Bukovich, and it's just how the doctor ordered it for Beal City. You got runners at the corners and nobody out for the Aggies, with the very, very dangerous Eric Elias stepping to the plate. Playing behind the plate for the Aggies. Did a great job. Top of the first inning behind the dish. Felsk checks the runner at first. He's going to go. They're going to make the throw out there, which is going to have Kyler Smith coming in home. And the throw is in time. What a great throw from behind the plate from Magnan to get Mr. Bukovich trying to take second base, but coming in to score the run is Kyler Smith. And that's the old Brad Ancliffe right there. He doesn't care that Braxton Bukovich got out. He cares that Braxton Bukovich helped bring in a run by trying to take second base. Kyler Smith with his speed was able to come in easily. Now the bases are empty with 1 out for Beal City, but they've got to run across. 1-1 is the count to Eric Elias. Will the Thrill McClintock is on deck for the Aggies. This one's going to be grounded down the third baseline. It's going to go foul. 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Beal City leads it 1-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 1-2 count to Eric Elias after he fouled that one off. Much love to our friends. Dance Again, Dress Simon Shop in Wademan. CNC Enterprises, the Isabella Community Sportsplex. This one is smoked out towards center field, and what a catch out in center field. We had a web gem from Mr. Gary Zuker. Now we've got one from Boone Wheeler. We've had two diving catches here in the first inning. Not something you see a whole lot. The fly out to center field will make it 2 outs as McClintock steps to the plate for the Aggies. Great curveball there from Tate Felsk as it breaks back over the zone. If you hear me say curveball, breaking ball, sweeper, it's kind of all the same to me. You guys not a baseball expert here. If he was at the plate, he would have trouble with everything. If you threw me a fastball probably over 60, I wouldn't be able to catch up to it. Then you throw me a curveball, and I'm going to look real stupid up there. 1-1 now the count as McClintock digs back in on the left side. 2 out, 1 run across for Beal City here in the bottom of the first inning. Number 4 hitter Will McClintock at the plate. That one's going to miss outside. 2-1 now the count. Gary Zuker on deck. Cooper Scarborough behind him. Aggies lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. 2 outs, nobody on. That one's also going to miss. 3-1 now the count for Will McClintock. And Will, not the elite speed of Kyler Smith, but if he gets on first base, definitely a big threat to take a bag as well. Here comes the 3-1. That one does bend back over the zone, run the count full 3-2. That's one thing I've seen from Felsk here in this first inning. No matter what the count is, he has the confidence to throw that breaking ball. It's a big deal to keep batters off balance. Here comes the 3-2. That one's going to bust back over the corner of the zone for a strikeout to end the inning. The Aggies do get 1 run in on 1 hit. Credit to Kyler Smith for making that happen. We're going to take another break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, top of the second inning, Leroy Pine River back at the bat. Collin Martin back on the mound for Beal City. More action coming up right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes. Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the action here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Headed to the top of the second inning, Beal City leads it 1-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Due up for Leroy Pine River. It's going to be Cooper Deverman, Anders Johnson, along with Aiden Dennison. It's Chris Bachman with you here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Much love to our friends Kenneth Eggert EDS, the Fisher Company, Central Concrete, Central Asphalt, and Fisher Transportation, Gross Farms, and Brad Gross Electric, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, almost up north, and Stitches for Britches, and Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Boomer's Lawn Care, Barry Funeral Home, Dog Central, Sydney's Judges Bench, the Beal City Village Store, always my last stop before an Aggie ball game, Smith & Sons, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, the Isabella Community Sportsplex, CNC Enterprises, along with the Dance Again, Adresco Simon Shop in Wademan. 1-0 Aggies up, top of the second inning. Dig it in, Cooper Deverman. Cooper Deverman playing second base for Leroy Pine River, wearing number 9. Collin Martin back out on the bump, wearing a number 0. I think as far as the number 0s go in any sport, wearing number 0 as a pitcher is probably the most fitting number out there. Martin ahead in the count, 0-1. He winds and deals. That one hits the low part of the zone with the fastball. 0-2. Deverman quickly down in the count. And a 1-0 lead, not a big lead, but I'm sure Martin does feel a little bit different coming out there with the lead here in the second inning. That one's going to miss on the outside with a whole lot of gas. Elias able to keep it in front of him, but it gets away down the first baseline, but no harm with nobody on. Deverman, second baseman, steps back in. Anders Johnson on deck, first baseman. Then Aiden Dennison after that, the right fielder. Martin's got the sign with the 1-2, winds and deals. That one also bounces up there. Great job by Elias, keep it in front of him. Not a bad pitch location, pitch decision there as well from Martin, trying to get Deverman to chase something low. Counts now 2-2. Top of the second inning. Nobody out, nobody on. Ooh, that one just going to miss inside as well. 3-2 now the count for Deverman. Top of the second inning. Aggies lead it 1-0. Kyler Smith led off with a single. Was able to pretty much take second and third. Bukovich was on first, went to steal second, essentially to make sure Kyler Smith got in home. That one's going to be fouled off. So the Aggies kind of manufacturing that one run. And Kyler Smith got on. Then was a pass ball to help move up to second base. And as Bukovich walked, he stole third. And as Bukovich went to steal second, Smith is able to come in home. 1-0 Aggies with the lead. This one's going to be sent down the third baseline. It's going to be not an easy play. There's not really a throw to be made. They still throw it over to first, but it's going to be an infield single for Cooper Deverman, and he did it on a full count. So great at-bat there for Cooper Deverman from Leroy Pine River to get the leadoff batter on, here in the top of the second inning. Anders Johnson now stepping to the dish. Johnson plays first base. Wears number 10 for Leroy Pine River. Pine River out there in the dark green jerseys with the gray pants. The Aggies out there in the royal blue jerseys and the white pants. First pitch of the at-bat's going to be hit towards short. Smith charging hard. It's a long run and a long throw. He makes it look very, very easy. So it's a ground out to shortstop for the first out here at the top of the second inning. Runner does move up to second base. There's now one out here in the top of the second inning. Digging in is the number 8 hitter, Aiden Dennison. Runner at second is now Cooper Deverman. Big lead out there. Martin first throw. It's a swinging miss there from Dennison. One out. Top of the second inning. Runner on second base for Leroy Pine River. Beal City leads it 1-0. Collin Martin's got the sign from Eric Elias. And throw back to second base. Diving in safely is Deverman. Martin has the baseball back. Slowly walks back to the middle of the bump. Gets the foot on that rubber and gets ready for the 0-1. Dennison, the right fielder, hoping to try and tie this game up. He's going to hit this one out towards second. He's going to bounce off second base, but there's Kyler Smith coming in to throw to first. McClintock's going to make it happen. I don't know how you rule that one a 4-6-3 out, but what a play out there. And it wasn't a bad play from Burmeister as it came in at him 100 miles an hour. Him getting a piece of it allowed Kyler Smith to be able to make a throw. That's 2 down now here in the second inning. The runner does move up to third base, though. A good piece of base running there from Deverman. That'll bring the number 9 hitter, Boone Wheeler, to the plate. We just saw him make an unbelievable catch out in center field moments ago. He swings at the first pitch. It's going to bounce away. Great job by Elias to quickly head down the third baseline, and also covering from this pitcher's mound was Mr. Collin Martin. Maybe a mistake there from Deverman not to go. It would have been a really close play, but you think about how wet the grass is. Elias would have had to make a perfect play out there in foul territory, grabbing the baseball and throwing it back home to Martin to get that tag in time. Runner remains at third. Here comes the pitch. This one's going to be fouled off down the first baseline. So if you're Pine River, the last thing you want to do, first inning, second inning, is strand a runner at third base. Martin ready with the 0-2. Again, you could try and waste one here if you want, but you got to make sure it stays in front of the plate with Elias. Can't allow that run to come in from third. This one's going to be sent towards first base. What a catch out there from Will McClintock. It's a line out to first base to get the Aggies out of the inning. What an unbelievable play there from Will McClintock just after we saw an absolutely unbelievable play from Mr. Kyler Smith. We're headed to the bottom of the second inning. The Aggies remain ahead 1-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Talking with the Smiths up here, and people, the scoreboard is looking all right, apparently. I just got to make sure I keep things correct up there, and so that's why you don't see it right now as I reset things here, and we head to the bottom of the second inning on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Nobody down for Beal City. They lead it 1-0 against Leroy Pine River. Gary Zuker, the cleanup hitter the number 5 hitter for the Aggies, is stepping to the plate. Zuker dangerous to drop down a bunt or hit a home run. He can kind of do it all. And again, an all-sports superstar for Beal City. It doesn't matter if it's the football field. It doesn't matter if it's the basketball court. It doesn't matter if it's the baseball diamond. Zuker gets it done for his coaches here at Beal City. 1-0. That one's going to break back over the zone, but it's going to go low for Felsk. 2-0 now the count to Gary Zuker. Zuker digging in. He's going to foul this one. 2-1 now the count to the center fielder for Beal City. And much love to our friends, Barberry Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, Clark Modular Homes, Wieferich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. That one's going to miss. 3-1 now the count to Mr. Gary Zuker. Zuker's going to hit a high chopping grounder to short. It's going to be fumbled a bit out there. And again, that's not an easy play. I'm not ruling that one an error on Holmes because you think about how wet the grass is and all that stuff. And I think Zuker would have beat it out anyways with the high chopping grounder towards third base. We've got the leadoff runner on for Beal City. Nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. Now stepping to the dish for the Aggies will be Mr. Cooper Scarborough. Scarborough digs in on the right side, waving a yellow bat over the back right shoulder. Big lead from Zuker over at first throw. He's diving in back safely. Zuker, similar to Kyler Smith, first good jump they can get, they're probably going. Probably got the green light from the coach. 1-0, Beal City in front. We're in the bottom of the second inning. At the plate is Cooper Scarborough. Looks to drop down the bunt down the first baseline. It's going to go foul. Good bunt, though, from Scarborough. Just went foul down the first baseline. That's about the type of power you want to get into the bunt, though. Stepping back in is Scarborough. 0-1 to count. Zuker leads away from first base. Aggies lead it 1-0, bottom of the second inning. Quick throw back to first, back in safely is Zuker. The quickness that Zuker has, it's a pretty good move from Felsk, but you're going to really have to catch Zuker leaning. Now just stepping off that time is Felsk, which isn't a bad decision. The last thing you want is a balk and just give that free second base to Zuker out there. Showing bunt is Scarborough. He gets it down despite it coming way, way inside. It'll be an easy out at first base. It does move Zuker up to second base on the sacrifice bunt there from Cooper Scarborough. And that's the kind of small ball that Brad Ankliff absolutely loves from his team right there. Now you got a runner in scoring position, 2 guys to try and knock him in with 1 out as Collin Martin steps to the plate on the right side. And Martin, the pitching counterpart, facing Tate Felsk. Chance of driving a run here to help out his cause with Zuker leading away from second base. First one's going to miss outside. 1-0 the count to Collin Martin. Zuker at second. This one's going to be hit up the middle. Holmes has got a charge. Not an easy play. Quick throw over to first is in time. What a play there from Jericho Holmes at shortstop. Even kind of bobbled it a little bit as it came out of his hand. Still was able to make the throw. Actually, no, they're going to... Are they going to say he was safe? Actually, they're going to say he was pulled off the bag, and so the credit I'm giving to Holmes is going to stay, though, because that was a long throw, but getting pulled off the bag there was the first baseman, Johnson, and so that will allow that runner to be safe at first base. Holmes did hold Gary Zuker at second, and so now we've got runners at first and second for Beal City. At the plate, Spence Burmeister. Aggies looking to put up a crooked number now here in the bottom of the second inning. Look, put down the bunt. It's a really good bunt. Look to throw it over to third. Safely is Gary Zuker. It gets away from the third baseman and Dave for a moment, but Zuker will hold there. It's going to be a bunt single for Mr. Spence Burmeister. The bases are now loaded, full of Aggies, with Danny Roggenbach stepping to the plate. Roggenbach playing out in left field for the Aggies. A chance to make something happen here. And he is a threat to drop down a bunt as well with his speed. At third is Zuker. At second, it was the pinch runner for Martin. Out there running for Collin Martin. Somebody actually don't got on my rooster. I'll make that joke. At first base is Burmeister after the bunt single. Coach heading out to the mound right now. I don't know if we're going to have a pitching change this early, but it's the bottom of the second inning. Beal City leads it 1-0 over Leroy Pine River. The bases are loaded, full of Aggies. At the dish is Danny Roggenbach. And it does look like Felsk is going to stay out on the mound. And he hasn't looked bad out there. When it comes to high school baseball and softball, if you've got somebody that can throw strikes, so much of it just comes down to the defense that's out there behind him. Got a long conversation right now with Coach Rupert and his infield. One down. Bottom of the second inning. Roggenbach at the plate. And I'll say it again, this Beal City Aggie team has won the Highland Conference in baseball for over 20-plus years, I believe it is. And so if you're Leroy Pine River, this is a big, big game for you. Roggenbach steps in. First pitch is going to be inside, almost plunking him. 1-0 Aggies in front. Kyler Smith scoring in the bottom of the first inning. Put the Aggies ahead. Collin Martin, 2 scoreless innings against Pine River. Now the bases are loaded for Roggenbach here. Swings at that one. 1-1 now the count. Kyler Smith is on deck. Big leads at third, second, and first. Swinging for the fence on that one was Roggenbach. Count is now 1-2. And if you're Felsk, a strikeout here would be huge. Felsk winds and deals. That one's going to miss on the outside. Not really any way Magnan was going to try and frame that one there. 2-2 the count. Roggenbach digs back in. He's going to foul tip this one. Count will stay 2-2. Actually, I thought it was 12 out at second base. It's 42, so it's Wyatt Wilson that is in running for Mr. Collin Martin. 2-2 now the count. Digging back in is Roggenbach. Here comes the pitch. He's going to foul this one off as well. Great job by the left fielder of Beal City staying alive at the plate. The bases are loaded, full of Aggies. We're in the bottom of the second inning. There is 1 out. Beal City leads Leroy Pine River 1-0. Big leads all the way around for Beal City. That one's going to miss outside. It's going to run the count full. And if you're Roggenbach, you are going to get something to hit here, especially with Kyler Smith on deck. Here comes the pitch from Roggenbuck. He's going to hit this one up the middle. Chance for them to try and make the tag. They're going to drop the baseball, though, and so everybody's going to be safe. Coming in to score is Zuker. Moving up to third is Wyatt Wilson. Moving up to second is Burmeister at first. And, in the Spachman box score, that's just going to be an RBI single for Roggenbuck. The bases remain loaded full of Aggies. And now stepping to the plate is Mr. Kyler Smith, the all-sports superstar for Beal City. Coach Antcliffe out there with some instructions for the base runner. But they just went to make the tag, and the ball just kind of came out of the glove. Wet conditions here. Beal City leads it 2-0, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. Stepping to the dish is Mr. Kyler Smith. Back in the first inning, he singled, went to second on a pass ball, went to third on a stolen base, and then was able to come home. This one smoked out to left field. It's going to get past the left fielder. Not going to roll up against the fence because the grass is so wet. But 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. It's a 2 RBI double for Mr. Kyler Smith. And you start to think about that Zade Bachelder Baller of the game, brought to you by Wieferich Financial. Kyler Smith having himself a day. He's already got a run scored. He is now driven in 2 runs, and the Aggies go up 4-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Zuker's come across. Wyatt Wilson came across running for Martin. Then Burmeister was able to come across. Now at the dish is Mr. Braxton Bukovich with runners at second and third. 3 runs across here for the Aggies in this second inning. That one's going to be inside 1-0. And as I talk about with some of the softball teams, some of the baseball teams, talking about Shepherd earlier this year, there's just not anybody to pitch around in this Aggie lineup. A huge lead from Kyler Smith out at second base, just daring them to throw it back there and try and allow that runner to come in from third. 4-0. Beal City in front here in the bottom of the second inning, and they're still threatening with runners at second and third, and Braxton Bukovich at the plate. He's now behind in the count 1-2. Eric Elias is on deck. He flew out to center field his first time up. That one's going to be inside. It's going to get away from the catcher. Coming in to score is Roggenbuck. Moving up to third base on the pass ball is Kyler Smith. Actually, they're going to say that one hit Bukovich, and so it's going to be a hit by pitch, and so Bukovich is on, so the run does not come across. But now the bases are loaded once again for Beal City. Score remains 4-0. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off by Elias. So Roggenbuck remains at third. At second is Kyler Smith. At first is Braxton Bukovich after the hit by pitch. So Bukovich has now been on base both plate appearances, but technically doesn't have an at-bat. He's got a walk and a hit by pitch. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to be on the outside corner for a strike. 0-2 now the count to Eric Elias. Will McClintock is on deck. After that, it's Gary Zuker who led off this inning. The Aggies threatening to bat around here in the bottom of the second inning. That pitch from Felsk is going to stay high. 1-2 now the count to Eric Elias, who's behind the plate defensively for Beal City in this one, hitting in the number 3 spot. Bases are loaded. 1-2 count, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. This one's going to be a hard chopper towards third. They look to get the force out at home, and they do get it. Great play over at third base from Dake to get the out. So Roggenbuck's not able to come in and score, but the bases stay loaded. There's now 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning with Will McClintock stepping to the plate. And Elias will remain in running at first base right now as he's on via fielder's choice. McClintock stepping back in, batting on the left side. Felsk back on the mound. Again, any pitcher when it comes to baseball or softball, if they're out there throwing strikes, they are doing a fantastic job. And if you're Felsk, this is a tough spot going up against a really good Beal City lineup. You throw them anything to hit, they're making you pay right now. 4-0 Beal City up, bottom of the second inning. That one's going to be a foul tip. 1-1 now the count to Will the throw McClintock. Will's first time out. He struck out after running the count full. Again, behind him is Gary Zuker, who led off this inning. Singled and came around to score. That one's just going to miss. Good eye there from McClintock. 2-1 to count. Bases loaded. 4-0 Aggies in front. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. 2-1 to count. This one's going to be hit hard towards first. Tough chopper trying to get there in time, and they will not. Great speed from McClintock to beat it out. Coming in to score is Kyler Smith. It's his second run in 2 innings. And I'm going to give credit for an RBI single there for Will McClintock, kind of an infield single, and it's going to move up the runners 90 feet. The bases are going to stay loaded for Gary Zuker, but 1 run comes across. It's now 5-0 Beal City with Zuker stepping to the plate for the second time in this second inning. I'll say it again. Fels continues to battle out there on the mound. He is not playing bad at all. He's got some really good batters right now for Beal City, making him pay, making the defense behind him pay. If you're Johnson at first base, probably would want that one back. If you field it cleanly, you might get there for that out. That one's going to get away from the catcher. Another run is going to come in, and 2 more runners are going to move up. Now at third is Eric Elias. That was Bukovich coming in to score. McClintock now at second. It's now 6-0 Beal City. So it's keeping the scoreboard thing a little bit more distracting than I thought, trying to keep the actual scorecard with myself as well. 6-0 Beal City in front, bottom of the second inning. Great breaking ball there that busts back over the zone for a strike. Now 1-2 the count to Gary Zuker, who led off this inning. I'll say it again, with a single. The Aggies have batted around here in the bottom of the second inning, putting 5 runs up on the board. They got 2 runners in scoring position with Zuker at the plate. Zuker sends this one out towards right field. Will it get down? It will, but in foul territory. That would have been a lot of trouble right there for Pine River if it had stayed fair. It definitely would have brought in Elias and McClintock, and with the speed of Gary Zuker, he would have at least been on second base. 2 down, bottom of the second inning, 2 strikes against number 2, Gary Zuker, the number 5 hitter for Beal City. Yellow Sports superstar steps out, steps back in on the right side. Here comes the 1-2 from Felsk. That's going to, looked like it was going to hit him, but it broke back, but just not quite enough for a strike. But you see the great movement there from Felsk on the mound. 2-2, 2 outs, number 2 at the plate. Second inning, whole lot of 2s up there. That one right up the middle for a base hit. In to score is Elias. A rounding third coming in to score is McClintock. They had a little trouble fielding it out in center field, which will allow Zuker to take second base. And I'm going to give him the 2 RBI double on that one. Again, the old Spockman box score is just kind of always positive towards the offense when it comes towards baseball. But it is now 7-8-0 Beal City in the bottom of the second inning. On second base is Gary Zuker. So still a runner in scoring position. Stepping to the plate is Cooper Scarborough. He had a sacrifice bunt in this inning. Now he's back at the dish. First one's going to miss high. The Aggies with 1 in the first, 7 here in the bottom of the second inning. They lead it 8-0 over Leroy Pine River. You know, when you're Pine River, you come into this game, you know this is the team that has won that Highland Conference championship year after year after year. You really, really want to make it happen, and now you come out here and it's the bottom of the second inning, and the Aggies put a 7 spot on you. That one's actually going to hit Scarborough as well, so he will take first base. Collin Martin now stepping to the dish. Runners at first and second. This one's going to be fouled off by Martin. Martin's first time up, again, in the Spockman box score, he had an infield single and eventually came around to score in this inning. Oh, 0-1 the count to Collin Martin. Felsk winds and deals. Nice breaking ball, but it does not break back inside enough. 1-1 now the count. Martin's going to feel a whole lot different coming out in the top of the third inning than at least an 8-run lead. That one's also going to miss. 2-1 the count to Martin. Spence Burmeister is on deck. He had a bunt single and came around to score in this inning. 7 runs for the Aggies in this inning. They lead at 8-0. Hard ground ball towards second. Not an easy play. It's gathered, throw in time to first, and so that will get Leroy Pine River out of the inning with the ground out to second base. But 7 runs come across for Beal City. Woo, boy, that was a tough one right there for Leroy Pine River. And again, I'll continue to give credit to Felsk. He is not playing bad out there at all for Leroy Pine River. This is just a really, really strong Beal City lineup. We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. 8-0 Beal City in front. What a fantastic bottom of the second inning they had batting around against Leroy Pine River. Back out on the bump for the Aggies is Mr. Collin Martin. What a fantastic start for Beal City. They lead it 8-0 as we head to the top of the third inning here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Boy, trying to figure all this stuff out here with the innings. All right, top of the third, getting to so we can bring the scoreboard screen back up. We're starting to get things squared away here. It's back to the top of the order for Leroy Pine River. Jericho Holmes reached base via walk, stole second, stole third, but was ultimately stranded there. 7-0. Or probably 8-0. Aggies in front. 7 in the bottom of that second inning just moments ago. First pitch to Holmes is going to miss outside. Holmes first at bat. Ran the count full. Also had a foul ball with the full count as well, or at least with 2 strikes. We saw 7 pitches before he took that walk, really making Martin work out there as the leadoff hitter in the game. Martin's got to feel a lot more comfortable now, though, as it's an 8-0 lead. High fly ball towards left field. Catch is made out there by Danny Roggenbuck. Not an easy catch out there. I'll mention it a bunch. It's a wet field. There's still a little bit of wind out there as I see those windmills in the background. But with that wet grass, you're probably not moving as fast, not getting quite the jump you normally would. 1 down here in the top of the third inning. That was a big out, getting that leadoff hitter out of the way there for Martin. Now Carter Magnan stepping to the plate. His first time up, he sent it out to center field, and it was an unbelievable web gem diving catch from Gary Zuker. First pitch is going to miss, 1-0 the count. Magnan steps back in, batting on the left side. The catcher for Leroy Pine River here in this first game. That one's going to miss low, 2-0 the count to Magnan. On deck is Colton Day. He struck out his first time up. Martin winds and deals with the 2-0. This one's going to be fouled off down the third baseline, out of play. 2-1 now the count to the number 2 hitter for Leroy Pine River. We're at the top of the third inning. Just 1 out, nobody on for Pine River. They need to get somebody on. They trail at 8-0 against Beal City here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Magnan awaits the 2-1 pitch. It's going to miss inside and low. 3-1 now the count for Collin Martin. Defensively for the Aggies, Martin on the bump. Elias behind him. McClintock at first. Burmeister at second. Kyler Smith at short. Cooper Scarborough over at third. Roggenbuck out in left field. In center, it's Gary Zuker. And out in right's Braxton Bukovich. High heat. Magnan could not catch up with that one. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Magnan looks down the first baseline to get a sign from Coach Rupert. I guess whether it's first or third, it's Coach Rupert either way. The father-son coach combo here. That is going to be a walk for Carter Magnet. So 1 runner on, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning for Pine River, with the number 3 hitter Colton Day coming to the plate, who struck out in his first plate appearance. The way things are going offensively for Beal City, if you're Pine River, got to feel like you need to get a run or 2 here in this 3rd inning. Got a runner on first, 1 out, chance to do something here with your number 3 hitter Colton Day at the plate. Plays 3rd base. He's going to hit this one high towards center field. He got a hold of it, but that's where baseball is just a difficult game. He gave that one a ride, but it was right to Gary Zuker out in center field. There is now 2 down, runner at first base for Leroy Pine River here in the top of the 3rd inning. Stepping to the dish is the cleanup hitter Carter Wayne. He drew a walk his first time up and was ultimately stranded. Got 1 hit in the game for Leroy Pine River. It was an infield single from Cooper Deverman. First pitch of the at-bat, just going to miss high there for Carter Wayne. Tate Felska's on deck. And you look at the scoreboard, you wouldn't think the pitcher's done a great job, but in my opinion, he has. It's not easy throwing strikes out here on the baseball diamond. Felska's been able to make it happen, but when Beal City's got the bat on the ball, they've been able to make things happen themselves. 8-0 Beal City with the lead here in the top of the 3rd inning. There's 2 down. Runner at first base for Leroy Pine River with their cleanup hitter Carter Wayne at the plate. Drew a walk on a full count his first time up. There goes the runner. It's going to be fouled off. 1-1 now the count. And it really looked like Wayne was kind of protecting the runner out there. It was a good jump out at first base, but Wayne kind of swinging at that one, maybe a hit-and-run situation all the way, as that pitch was inside, just barely fouled it off. Martin checks that runner. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off. And I don't know if that was off the catcher's mask or the umpire mask, but as I often say, they're a lot tougher than I am, because I would be out there, be struggling at this point, but they're used to it. They are ready to roll. 1-2 the count. Stepping out to the mound right now is Eric Elias to have a short little conversation with Collin Martin. Couple practice swings from Carter Wayne down the 3rd baseline as he steps back in. Runner on first, 2 down, top of the 3rd inning. Cleanup hitter at the plate for Leroy Pine River. The Aggies lead it 8-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Martin, the righty, creeps over the back left shoulder to look at that runner. He's going once again. It's going to be a throw down to second in time. What a throw from Elias to nab the runner. That'll be out number 3 of the inning. We'll see Carter Wayne once again in the 4th, but what a fantastic play from Eric Elias behind the plate. You don't see a whole lot of high school catchers throwing guys out at second base, but that's just what happened right there on the unbelievable play from Mr. Eric Elias. We're going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. When we come back, due up for the Aggies in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it's Spence Burmeister, Danny Roggenbuck, and then back to the top of the order. You're listening to Aggies Baseball on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road, or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Looks like we might have a new pitcher on the bump for Leroy Pine River. Coming in to pitch for Pine River will be Anders Johnson. And not a bad spot to maybe make the switch here if you are Coach Rupert. You just gave up that 7 spot in the bottom of the second inning. And I've said it a couple times, I'll say it again. If you're Leroy Pine River, this is a game you really want to have, as Beal City has had everybody's number in the Highland Conference going back about 20 years or so. Again, leading things off here in the bottom half of the third inning will be Mr. Spence Burmeister for the Aggies. He had a bunt single his first time up, came around to score in that second inning where the Aggies batted around, putting up 7 runs. First pitch is going to be low from Anders Johnson. Burmeister digs back in, batting from the right side. That one will be down Broadway. 1-1. Now the count to Burmeister. Big cut that time for Burmeister, swinging through. Now 1-2. Burmeister waving the bat over his back right shoulder. That one's going to stay high for Johnson. 2-2 now the count. I do have an update coming from the softball field. Leroy Pine River leads at 7-3 in the bottom of the second inning. Leroy Pine River was able to beat Beal City last year in the regular season. This one smoked down the third baseline. It's going to be fair. Maybe extra bases for Burmeister if he takes that turn. It's going to be a good throw in from left field, and Carter Wayne that will hold him up. But the leadoff runner is on for the Aggies as Burmeister lines a single there. Great start for the Aggies here in the bottom of the third inning. Now stepping to the plate is Danny Roggenbuck. Roggenbuck had an RBI single his first time out. Ultimately got out on a fielder's choice, was forced out at home trying to come in for the run. Big lead over at first and second. Quick throw down to the second. It's not going to get there. They probably should have had Burmeister caught up, but Burmeister is going to get credit for the stolen base with some smart base running there. He was so far in between first and second base, the catcher threw it down to first base. And instead of going back, he says, well, I might as well go for second, and he was just able to make it in time. Roggenbuck will dig back in, behind on the count, 0-1. After Roggenbuck, it's back to Kyler Smith, who's 2 for 2 on the day. The couple of runs scored, also has a pair of RBI as well. Showing bunt that time was Roggenbuck, but it's going to be outside now, 0-2 the count to the left fielder for Beal City, the number 9 hitter. Bunt now taken away with those 2 strikes. Going to have to swing away here. Solid lead for Burmeister out at second. That one's way outside. 1-2 the count. Nobody out. Bottom of the third inning. Runner on second base for Beal City. They lead it 8-0 over Leroy Pine River here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Here comes the 1-2 to Roggenbuck. He's going to foul this one out of play. Count will remain 1-2. The Aggies scoring 1 in the first, 7 in the second as they batted around. Gary Zuker had a single, a run scored, and then came back up and had a 2 RBI double. Roggenbuck awaits the 1-2. They're going to check that runner out at second. It's going to get away from the shortstop, and that's going to allow Burmeister to take third base. Actually, the throw's coming in, and coming away from the bag on third will be Day, but Burmeister is in at third base. Great piece of base running there. Again, it's the second time Burmeister almost could have been caught off the bag, but instead of going back, he's able to take an extra bag. He's now at third. There's still nobody out. And if you're Roggenbuck, high fly ball, put one in play deep in the infield here, you're going to be able to drive yourself in a run. 1-2 the count. Runner now at third for Beal City. Swing and a miss there. It's going to be a strikeout, a big-time punch out there for Johnson on the mound. Back to the top of the order for the Aggies. Kyler Smith with the runner at third base. And Smith's had a pretty decent day so far. 2 for 2. Pair of runs scored, a single, a double, 2 RBI. Make the joke, he's a triple and a home run away from the cycle. That one's just going to miss outside. 1 down. Bottom of the third inning. Leadoff hitter at the dish for the Aggies and Kyler Smith. Runner leading away from third base. That one's going to be inside. It's going to plunk Kyler Smith. So for the third time today, he is on base. And watch out, I don't think it's going to be long before he's trying to take second base. Braxton Bukovich will now step to the plate. The runner's on first and third. Still, 1 out now here in this third inning. Bottom of the third inning. 8-0 Aggies in front. Bukovich batting from the left side. Right fielder for this Aggies team. And just kind of has such a casual batting stance up there. Going to check the runner at third. Actually, just kind of a fake throw over there to see if they could catch Kyler Smith leading, but he's got his head on a swivel. He's back in time. And now I've got Coach Rupert heading out to the mound right here. 8-0 Beal City with the lead. If there's a pitching change coming here for Leroy Pine River, we'll maybe take ourselves a quick commercial break. But Beal City leads it 8-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Much love to our friends at Clark Modular Homes having their open house next weekend out on Pickard Road. Go stop out there for a great time, get some refreshments, and learn about all the great things that Clark Modular Homes does. Runners at the corners for Beal City. 1 out, number 2 hitter Braxton Bukovich at the plate. Bukovich has been on both times, both plate appearances, but technically doesn't have a hit, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Behind him is Eric Elias, who flew out to center field and then reached base via fielder's choice his second time at the plate. Does look like Anders Johnson is going to stay in the game. Bukovich back to the dish, a couple practice swings before he steps in on the left side. Runners take their leads for first and third. That one's going to be outside 1-0. And Kyler Smith takes second base, but they're not going to throw it out there because Burmeister would have come sprinting home. And again, it's tough to get Kyler Smith if he gets a good jump out at second base regardless. So now runners at second and third for Beal City. Great job behind the plate, keep it in front of them. Now they throw it down to third base quickly and back just in time is Burmeister. That was a great play from Magnan behind the dish to almost get the out down to third base. Braxton Bukovich steps back in. The count now 2-0. Right fielder should get something to hit here. Here comes the pitch from Johnson. That's going to miss outside. It's going to run the count to 3-0. Bottom of the third inning. Aggies lead it 8-0. 1 out. Runners at second and third for Braxton Bukovich. Eric Elias is on deck. 3-0. That's going to miss inside. That is going to load the bases for Mr. Eric Elias. At first is Bukovich. At second is Kyler Smith. At third is Spence Burmeister. There is 1 down. Bottom of the third inning. The Aggies have got them loaded. Another update coming from the softball diamond. Top of the third inning, Pine River girls lead at 7-3 over Beal City. You know, those Beal City softball bats are going to make some noise at some point. Our score here, 8-0. Again, just a huge lead from Kyler Smith out at second base. Just daring somebody to try and come get him. Here's a grounder up the middle. It's going to get through the infield for a base hit. 1 run is in. Smith is in for his 3rd run of the game after Burmeister. And it's a 2 RBI single for Mr. Eric Elias. The Aggies continue to put the runs up. At third is Braxton Bukovich. At first is Eric Elias. It is now 10-0. Beal City in front. Runners at the corners and still just 1 out as Will McClintock steps to the plate. He had an RBI single his last time up. Taking seconds, Elias. The throw's going to go over his head, but again, all they're trying to do is get that run in from third, and they do. That's what you dream of right there if you're Coach Antcliffe. Oh, just absolutely loved what Eric Elias did. He started going to second, then just kind of stopped in the middle of it and said, hey, if you want to come tag me, do whatever. I just want to make sure that run gets in home. Then they try and throw it back home. Bukovich comes in safely, and Elias is still able to take second base. 11-0 Aggies in front. Bottom of the third, still just one out. Will the Thrill McClintock at the plate. First one misses, second one also misses. Now you start to think about if the Aggies score 4 more runs here in the bottom of the third, they could walk this off in 3 innings. Whew. Check of the runner, Elias dances back. If this game does end in 3, our Zade Bachelder Baller of the game, brought to you by Wieferich Financial, is going to have to be Mr. Kyler Smith. He's already scored 3 runs for the Aggies. Drove in 1. Stole a couple bases as well. That one's going to be over for a strike to McClintock. The count now 2-1. Big lead again for Elias out at second. McClintock's going to foul this one off down the third baseline. Count's going to run to 2-2. On deck is Gary Zuker. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a 2 RBI double. McClintock batting from the left side. Awaits the 2-2. Here it comes. That's going to miss outside. 3-2 the count. And Zuker awaits on deck. Full count, 1 out, runner on second base for Beal City. They lead at 11-0 here in the bottom of the third. High fly ball to center field. It's not going to be an easy play. Making the play from his shortstop position will be Jericho Holmes. So fly out. Again, I'm going to put the shortstop, but it's kind of more out in center field. There's now 2 down. Runner remains at second base for Beal City in the bottom of the third inning. 11-0. They lead it. And Zuker's 2 for 2 on the day. Singled in the second inning, came around to score. Then he came back up in the second inning and hit a 2 RBI double. Was eventually stranded there. 1 in the first, 7 in the second, now 3 here in the third for Beal City as they lead at 11-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Number 5 hitter Gary Zuker at the plate. Much love going out to friends Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Mount Pleasant Automotive, ENS Graphics, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Conowinski Construction, Blockco Pools and Spas, along with J&J Auto. Got a pinch runner coming in now with those 2 outs. Elias is going to head to the bench, get that catcher's gear on. Wyatt Wilson's going to come in and run for him. Zuker digs back in on the right side. The count 0-1 to the all-sports superstar for the Aggies. This one smoked up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Wyatt Wilson rounding third. He'll come in to score. Eric Elias is saying, dang it, I could have had another run. Zuker kind of caught in between first and second, but there's nobody at first base. And so he's got himself an RBI single, his 3rd RBI of the afternoon. Coming in to score is Wyatt Wilson running for Eric Elias. It is now 12-0, Beal City in front with a runner at first base. 2 down. Bottom of the third inning. Cooper Scarborough stepping to the dish. Behind him is Collin Martin. And then it's Spence Burmeister. The Aggies threatening to bat around for the 2nd inning in a row. Umpires getting together right now. And I think they might be doing the, did he touch third base type of thing right now, trying to take a run off the board possibly. And if you're the coaches for Pine River, you got to do whatever you can at this point. Try and keep your team in the game. It's 12-0 Beal City with the lead here in the bottom of the third inning. The Aggies are the 1 in the bottom of the first. A big 7 spot in the second as they batted around. Now 4 here across in the third inning. A chance to bat around again. Runner on first base with 2 down in the bottom of the third. 12-0 Aggies in front. More love going out to friends. Barberry Law, Gates Drilling and Service, a Bill's Custom Fab. I still think our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game is that catch from Gary Zuker way back in the first inning. I also loved our post-game show sponsor, the Bird All-American Grill. The only place you'll ever find this guy post-game is the Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant. Again, on a day like today, a little sunbread might not be bad after this ball game. I also loved Clark Modular Homes, Wieferich Financial, sponsor of the Zade Bachelder Baller of the game, and also loved Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. It does not look like any runs are being taken off the board. Scarborough is back at the dish, waiting to see if Zuker is going to be at first or second, waiting to see exactly what the scenario is here. And it does look like we've got another pitcher coming in as well for Leroy Pine River. So with that new pitcher coming in, we'll send it out to a little bit of a commercial break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Aggies, they get 3 more runs across here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Could close it out, but Pine River wants to keep this game going. Chance for their offense to possibly make some noise. Be back with more Aggie baseball right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Wieferich Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Wieferich Financial. Wieferich Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WieFrichFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Wieferich Financial, member SIPC. The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. A new pitcher out there for Leroy Pine River, and not an easy situation to step into. It's the bottom of the third inning. There's a runner on first base. It's 12-0, Beal City with the lead. Can you get 3 more runs across? Yes, there's 2 outs, but the way the Aggie bats have been working, it is a definite possibility for them to put up 3 more here in the bottom of the third. And if you did that, the game is over. And so if you're Leroy Pine River, got to do everything you can to keep this game going to give your offense a chance to try and get back in things. It'll be Cooper Deverman now taking the bump for Leroy Pine River. So things started with Tate Felsk. He had some good movement on his pitches, but again, the Aggie bats, they're used to great movement. They can make it happen. When they put the bat on the ball, it was trouble. Then Andres Johnson came in, and now Cooper Deverman will be stepping up onto the mound for Leroy Pine River. Runner at first base is Gary Zuker for the Aggies. At the dish is Cooper Scarborough. Scarborough had a sacrifice bunt in the second inning, and then was also hit by a pitch, also in the second inning. We're in the bottom of the third. It's 12-0, Beal City in front. This one hit really, really high. A moonshot out to right field. It will get down. Zuker kept running all the way. He's at third base. Great base running there from Gary Zuker. With 2 outs, it would have been very easy to kind of hold up on that one. But Zuker's now all the way at third base after the bloop single. I don't even know what to call that. Pop-up single there, but it was in a very tough spot just beyond the dirt, beyond the first baseline. Kind of a perfect place to drop it in there. Got Jake Upton now stepping to the dish for the Beal City Aggies. Hitting for Spence Burmeister, or pardon me, yes, hitting for Spence Burmeister will be Mr. Jake Upton. Home run here from Upton. He does have that type of power. Would end this game here in the bottom of the third. The Aggies are out at 4 runs across. That first pitch is going to be high. 1-0 the count. Or pardon me, Upton's hitting for Collin Martin. As I continue to confuse myself here. So Martin probably done working on the bump for the afternoon. That one's also going to miss high. Bottom of the third, runners at the corners for Mr. Upton. 2-0 the count. Deverman with the pitch. That one will hit the zone. 2-1 now the count. Spence Burmeister is on deck. See if they pinch hit for him. He led off this inning with a single and came around to score. This one's going to be hit up the middle. They will get that force out at second, and that will finally get Leroy Pine River out of the inning. But the Aggies with 4 more runs across in the bottom of that third inning, They lead at 12-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. An absolutely dominant performance from this Aggie squad. Going to take a break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Be back with the fourth inning right after this. The Aggies in control, up 12-0. Back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Aggies lead it 12-0 as we head to the fourth inning. Aggies did leave a couple on there in the bottom of the third. I'll make the joke that Mr. Jake Upton came to the plate, chance to walk it off. He had a 3-run bomb. But top of the fourth inning, Aggies lead it 12-0. Mr. Martin is back on the bump for Beal City. He has given up technically one hit, just an infield single. That is all Pine River has been able to manage. They've also had 3 guys on via a walk as well. Stepping to the plate is going to be Carter Wayne. He was at the dish in the top of the third inning. Carter Magnan was thrown out trying to go from first to second. That was the third out. It was a fantastic throw from behind the plate from Eric Elias. You take away the diving catch from Gary Zuker in center field in the first inning, that could be the most impressive play of the game if you're asking this guy, because, man, it's a long way to try and throw somebody out from home plate out to second base. Elias was on the money with that one. First pitch is going to be over for a strike to Wayne. Again, if you're Collin Martin, you started off in the first inning. You had to get through that with the game tied. Then he came out in the second with a 1-run lead, came out in the third with an 8-run lead, and now you've got a double-digit lead here in the fourth inning. And so you just kind of go out there and fire away. That's now an 0-2 count for Carter Wayne. Wayne walked his first time up. Ultimately stranded at first base back in the first inning. Here comes the 0-2 for Martin. Just going to miss that outside corner. 1-2 now the count. Beal City leads at 12-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Much love to the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, GNS Mechanical, Hanging by a Thread, Pure Plumbing, All Seasons Fireworks, WW Construction, The Diner, Block Electric, Brickner and Bunker, Farm Bureau Insurance Group, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Powell Frame and Collision, Bogwai Bang and Bradley, Martinez Lawn Care, and Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Wayne's going to get rung up on that one. Great breaking ball from Mr. Martin as it broke back over the zone. Elias didn't even need to wait for the strike 3 call. He already headed it down to first base, and actually maybe the umpire saying something to him as he did that one. But what an excellent pitch there from Collin Martin. You got to just be a lot more comfortable pitching with that big lead. First pitch is going to be low and in the zone for strike 1. Martin winds and deals. Swing and a miss. Count now quickly 0-2. To the count, 1 down, top of the fourth inning. That'll be another swing and a miss, so now 2 down, back-to-back punch-outs here for Collin Martin. That was Masterson going down on strikes that time. He was in hitting for Tate Felsk. Now Cooper Deverman steps back to the plate. He's got the lone hit of this game for Leroy Pine River, and it was an infield single. That was back in the second inning. It was ultimately stranded at third. Big swing and a miss there for Deverman. Aggies lead it 12-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. There's 2 down, nobody on for Leroy Pine River as Collin Martin continues to pitch gem out there for the Aggies with some great defense behind him. 0-1, that's over for a strike. Martin with a chance to strike out the side here. Pretty much near an immaculate inning. He's only throwing 1 ball. 0-2 the count. Martin winds and deals. That's there for strike 3. Martin strikes out the side here in the fourth inning. Woo-hoo-hoo. The sophomore is hot as a Blocko jacuzzi on the mound. We are headed to the bottom of the fourth inning. If the Aggies get 3 runs, they could close it out. And I know that seems like a lot, but when you've put up 1, 7, and 4, 3 in the fourth, seems like it is doable. The Aggies lead it 12-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network over Leroy Pine River. Back with more right after this.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Blocko Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blocko Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it on this Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman with you right behind the plate here in our Barberry Law Studios, built by Conwincy Construction. Today we find ourselves at Beal City High School, bringing you the action from Leroy Pine River and the Aggies. The Aggies lead at 12-0, heading to the bottom of the fourth inning. If they put 3 runs up across here, they could win it via that 15-run mercy rule. If you're up 15 runs after 3 innings, they will call it. If you're up 10 runs after 5 innings, they will call it. That is so you can try and get both of those games in. As we look at the time, 5:32, and we started about maybe 10 minutes behind or so here as these Aggie guys just did a fantastic job getting this field ready for action here today. So will Game 2 get in? I'm not sure. And people ask why I don't call them both. Well, batteries could die on some of my equipment if you get some of these games going long, and then also, too, sometimes they just don't finish as well. At the dish now for the Beal City Aggies is Spence Burmeister. Swings at the first pitch, swings through it. Burmeister on the day has a bunt single and a single. He scored 2 runs for Beal City, 2 of the 12. Swings at that one as well. Coach Ancliffe's going to let him hear about it, swinging at that one later as well. That one was way up and inside. 0-2 now the count to Burmeister as he steps back in. He will put this one in play. Actually, no, it's not in play. It's in foul territory. Great job from behind the plate by Magnan, whipping off the helmet and able to make the catch. So out is Burmeister on a pop out to the catcher. That will bring Mr. Jordan Weber to the plate. Weber is going to be hitting for Danny Roggenbuck. Weber steps in on the right side. 12-0 Aggies in front here. Bottom of the fourth inning. He's going to lean out and grab that one, send it out towards the outfield. Not an easy play, and they won't be able to come up with it. It's going to be a single for Jacob Weber, and on the blooper, out to right field. So you got Weber at first base. That'll get you back to the top of the order with Kyler Smith. Smith's last plate appearance, he was hit by a pitch and came around to score. And maybe that was a good thing because he singled, stole 2 bases in the first inning, had a 2 RBI double, came around to score in the second inning, hit by a pitch in the third. He's been on base 3 times. He scored 3 runs. First one is going to miss. 1-0 the count. Deverman back on the mound. Runner at first base for the Aggies. This one's going to be sent foul. Stepping out, practice swing, half swing from Kyler Smith as he looks down to Coach Antcliffe for the sign. 1-1 the count to the shortstop. Lead for Weber over at first base. That one's going to miss outside. It's going to get away from the catcher. Weber's going to be able to take second base. They actually throw it down there way late. Weber's in there safely, moving up with the pass ball. One down, runner on second. Bottom of the fourth inning, 2-1, the count to Kyler Smith. Braxton Bukovich on deck. He's walked, been hit by a pitch, and walked again in this one. This one's going to be popped really high in the air, trying to make the play over at first base, going back into the grass. What an amazing catch over at first from Carter Wayne. Going back into the grass, almost fell, but still was able to make the catch. So pop out to first base there. The first time we've seen Kyler Smith not on base in this one. That brings Braxton Bukovich to the dish. Again, he technically doesn't have a plate appearance in this one as he's been walked twice and hit by a pitch. 2 down, bottom of the fourth inning. Bukovich digs in. First one's going to be on the outside corner for strike one. Coming out in the top of the fifth inning, I mentioned those mercy rules. If you're Leroy Pine River, you're going to have to score at least 3 runs in the top of the fifth inning to stay in this ball game and force Beal City to come back out and bat in the bottom of the fifth. This one's grounded towards first base. Not an easy play trying to get there, but Bukovich's speed is going to beat it out. They've got a little bit of a collision, actually, after first base, but Bukovich, as you often hear me say, he's a lot tougher than I am as he's able to be in with the single. So Bukovich has reached base all 4 of his plate appearances now. We've got runners at the corners as Eric Elias steps to the dish. And again, Elias has the power to hit a home run here. He could end the game if he is able to send one out. Was it 350 center field, 350 out and left and right center, and then at the foul pole, it's 315 down each way. Runners at the corners, 2 down, bottom of the fourth inning for Beal City. Eric Elias on the day. He's flown out to center field, reached base via fielder's choice. His last time up in the third inning, he had a 2 RBI single, stole second base, eventually came around to score. 2 down, bottom of fourth, 2 on. Elias, the number 3 hitter at the dish for the Aggies. Deverman checks that runner at first. Winds and deals, runners going. They do make the throw down. Just kind of standing there in the middle is Bukovich. It gets away from everybody. Now they look to throw it in here at home. Nice play by Jacob Weber. He knew he wasn't going to make it there, and he wasn't going to get the final out going home. So he remains at third. Bukovich moves up to second base. If you're Pine River, you got to feel like you got to get an out there in that situation. As you threw it out in between second and third, Bukovich just kind of dancing out there, making you go after him. That allowed Weber to come in home. The throw home got away from the catcher. Weber danced back safely. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Mr. Elias. It's a 1-0 count. He had a 2 RBI singles last time up. Love to drive in a couple more here. That one's going to bounce up there. Nice job by Magnan keeping it in front of him at the plate. Runners at second and third for Beal City. Bottom of the fourth inning. They lead it 12-0. Elias at the dish. Deverman with the pitch. That's going to miss outside. Will McClintock awaiting on deck. He's 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI single. Elias smokes this one to center field. It's going to get over the head of the center fielder. If Elias can come all the way around, nope, it's a great throw in. He won't have the end-of-park home run, but it's going to be a 2 RBI double. Make that 4 RBI now for Mr. Eric Elias. What a performance he has had. He's also done great behind the dish. Coming in to score was Weber and Braxton Bukovich. It's now 14-0 Beal City with the lead. Runner at second is Mr. Eric Elias. Coming around to score on that one was Weber along with Bukovich. That'll bring McClintock to the plate here. If he can drive in that run from second, this will end the ball game right here. That's going to be inside. McClintock steps out. Knows he has a chance to end this one here. Elias kind of knows it too, as he's not coming out from his catcher's position. He wants to score this game-winning run. Gets away from the catcher. Here comes the throw down to third base. Sliding in safely is Eric Elias. The walk-off run, mercy run here in the fourth inning is now just 90 feet away. Will McClintock with a 1-0 count. Steps back in on the left side, 2-0 count. Elias dances away from third, trying to make the pitcher think it's going to be inside. Good job by Magnan keeping that in front of him. 3-0 count now to Will McClintock. And the walk-off mercy run at third base in Eric Elias. It's 14-0, Beal City in front. Runner at third with 2 down. That will be ball 4. Second time McClintock has been on base today, and that's going to bring Gary Zuker to the plate with a chance to walk this one off. Zuker on the day, singled in the second. Also in the second, he had a 2 RBI double. He's also got an RBI single, so he's already batted in 3 runs here so far, has Mr. Zuker, and it does look like we'll have another pitching change out there for Leroy Pine River as they try and do everything they can to stay in this game. We'll send it out to another little commercial break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network to hear from some of our fantastic friends. When we come back, we'll see if Beal City can close this one out in the 4th inning or if Martin's going to have to come back out on the dish in the 5th. Beal City leads it 14-0. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Magnan out there taking a few more warm-up pitches. So we've got a new pitcher coming into the game for Leroy Pine River. I believe this is the 4th that we will have seen now in 4 innings. Phelps, who started the game, did a pretty darn good job. Again, when the bat got put on the ball for Beal City, it has been tough in this one for Leroy Pine River. 14-0. Aggies lead it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 down, runners at the corners. Gary Zuker is going to step to the dish. There's a number of things that could end this game now in 4 innings. Pass ball. Sharp grounder. Zuker could be able to beat it out at first. Got Elias over at third. He's got some pretty good speed, and so very, very tough situation here for Leroy Pine River. But they want to do everything they can to stay in this conference game. And the likelihood of them coming back down 14 is not good, but you got to try. Zuker steps in. Chance to walk this one off here in the 4th inning. First pitch is going to be inside. Will McClintock will take second base without a throw. 1-0 the count to Zuker. Gary Zuker batting on the right side, waves the bat over the back right shoulder. That one's going to miss high, 2-0. Cooper Scarborough was on deck. Technically 1 for 2 on the day. Actually 1 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt hit by pitch, so he'd only have 1 technical plate appearance. That one framed back over the zone. Nice job by Magnan behind the plate. 2-1 now the count. 14-0 Aggies in front. Walk-off run just 90 feet away here in the bottom of the 4th inning with that 15-run mercy rule. That one's going to be inside. 3-1 now the count to Gary Zuker. And Scarborough on deck. So Gary Zuker would love to end this one here, but he'll take ball 4 and allow Cooper Scarborough to have a chance to end this one. Bases are now loaded, full of Aggies. At the dish, Cooper Scarborough. Another thing that could now end this game is a walk. A walk, a passed ball, a base hit. A number of things could close this out in the bottom of the 4th inning now for Beal City. First pitch, Low and outside, great job by Magnan keeping that in front of him. The Aggies scored 1 in the first, 7 in the second, 4 in the third. Now got 2 across here in the fourth. They lead at 14-0. They've got the bases loaded. The walk-off run just 90 feet away. That one's also high. 2-0 now the count to Scarborough. Scarborough digs back in. Here comes the 2-0. That's going to bounce up there. Now, if you're Pine River, you absolutely have to throw a strike here, because if you don't, the game is over. Scarborough definitely taking this one all the way. And it will hit that inside corner. 3-1, and now the count to Cooper Scarborough. Over on the softball diamond, it's 8-3 in the fifth inning there, with Leroy Pine River still on top of the Lady Aggies. That's going to miss outside. That'll bring in the walk-off run in the form of Mr. Eric Elias. 15-0 will be our final in 4 innings. The Aggies with an outstanding performance to win this one, going away 15-0. What a great performance from the Beal City Aggies, winning this one in 4 innings. We're going to take a break for our Bird All-American Grill post-game show. The only place you'll ever find this guy post-gaming is the Bird All-American Grill in downtown Mount Pleasant. We're back to put a bow on this one right after this here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Mike Stanton, and I'm honored to represent the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund, created to honor Marilyn's legacy of generosity, compassion, and commitment to our community. At its core, our mission is simple: to support our youth, remove barriers, and create opportunities for kids to grow, compete, and succeed, both in their community and in the game of life. We are incredibly excited to support the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. They do an outstanding job highlighting student athletes, local schools, and the power of teamwork, shining a light on the hard work and dedication that is often overlooked. This partnership allows us to celebrate not just wins on the field, but character and leadership along the way. At the end of the day, it's about investing in our youth, strengthening our communities, and carrying forward Maryland's spirit of giving. To learn more about the Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund and the events we support, find us on Facebook by searching Marilyn Chapman Memorial Fund. Go Blue Jays.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Malley Construction in Mount Pleasant are experts in residential and commercial construction. From poured walls, flat work, pipe work, and road work, Malley Construction does it all. And they are Michigan Department of Transportation pre-qualified. Malley Construction is family-owned and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Bryce Updegraff with Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraff. With Pradium Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, The Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at The Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant. Hiring a cleaning service doesn't mean you're lazy. Martinez Cleaning knows it means you value your time and want to come home and relax and not worry about the mess. Martinez Cleaning allows you to do just that. Come home and relax to a nice clean home. Schedule your appointment and learn more by visiting Martinez Cleaning on Facebook or call today at 989-289-8615. Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Michigan Sports Network.
Yeah, matching up with my main man, Sean Powers, right there. The Aggies, 15-0, victorious over Pine River, walking it off via a mercy in 4 innings. And it was a walk-off walk for Cooper Scarborough on a 3-1 count. Time to think about the accolades of this game. Got to give a lot of credit out on the mound to Mr. Collin Martin. The sophomore was absolutely fantastic, including striking out the side in the top of the 4th inning. He ultimately had 4 strikeouts through 4. As I look back, he only gave up 1 infield single as he walked 3 other guys. And so a really fantastic performance from Collin Martin on the bump for the Beal City Aggies. But you think about that Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, that Zade Bachelder Baller of the game, brought to you by Wieferich Financial, the Mumford Oil and Gas Supply drill of the game. I mean, you got to think about Mr. Kyler Smith, who led things off with a single, who went to second on a pass ball, stole third base, and then ultimately was able to come in and score on came in and scored when Braxton Bukovich tried to take second base. So you got the run in from the leadoff hitter real quick. And then in the second inning, when the Aggies batted around, Kyler Smith had a huge 2 RBI double. He then came back up in the 3rd inning, was hit by a pitch and came around to score. So a fantastic day for Mr. Kyler Smith. But the Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game, though, you also got 3 RBI for Mr. Eric Elias, who had a 2 RBI single in the 3rd, an RBI double in the 4th inning. So it's a fantastic day all the way around. You have 3 RBI as well for Mr. Gary Zuker. And so, we're getting to Gary Zuker. He's the senior. Kyler Smith, Eric Elias are juniors. Our Zade Bachelder Baller of the game is going to go to Mr. Gary Zuker, who was on base all 4 plate appearances. He led off, or trying to see if I can get this correct here. Yeah, the 2nd inning, he led things off with a single and came around to score. He then came back up in the 2nd inning and had himself an RBI double. Yeah, so in the 2nd inning, Gary Zuker had 2 hits, a single and a double, a run scored, and 2 RBI. He then came up in the 3rd inning, had an RBI single, and walked in the 4th inning right before Cooper Scarborough had the walk-off walk. And so our Zade Bachelder Baller of the game, brought to you by Wieferich Financial, Mr. Gary Zuker. He also had our Bills Custom Fab fabrication of the game with an unbelievable diving catch out in center field. And you think about how differently this game could have gone. The leadoff runner for Leroy Pine River got on in Jericho Holmes, and it was Carter Magnan who came out, hit that rope to center field, and the diving catch from Mr. Gary Zuker. You make it 1-0, top of the 1st inning. Who knows how this game could have gone, but it goes the way of the Aggies. 15-0, they win it in 4 innings. They continue to dominate Highland Conference play as they look to win yet another conference championship. Final score update. Here come the Aggie girls, putting up, 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's now 8-6 in the bottom of the 5th inning over on the softball field. Parman thinks I should try and get that equipment over there. We'll see if we can get that finish on a video to be posted to Facebook Live here in a minute. But our final here, 15-0. The Aggie boys win it in 4 innings over Leroy Pine River. We've got a battle over on the softball diamond. We'll see if we can make it over there for a Facebook Live for that finish. The Aggies a winner, 15-0 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Mr. Gary Zuker, our Zade Bachelder Baller of the game, brought to you by Wieferich Financial. The bases are now loaded full of Aggies in the bottom of the 5th inning over on the softball diamond with Addie Sanders stepping to the dish. 8-6 is the score there. If you don't got Game Changer, you should get it. You could follow along with that game, but I'll head over there, see if we can get that finish on Facebook Live. But our final here, the Aggies win it 15-0 in 4 innings. Chris Bachman sign off. We could have some baseball, softball action tomorrow coming from Claire, and big shout out to Gary Zuker, who had our Bills Custom fabrication of the game with an amazing catch out in center field in that 1st inning. But Chris Bachman sign off. Could have some softball, baseball action tomorrow with Sacred Heart Academy and Claire, but probably just be posting some highlights from that one as your boy is just rolling now into the baseball and softball action.